Perfect. Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning or good evening, depending on where you are. My name is Adrian Hofstede, and I'm chair of the IAGP Webinar Committee. And I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar, Changing Those Who Are a Drain into a Gain. Now, our presenter today is Dr. Carlos Raimundo is a medical doctor, psychiatrist, and psychodramatist. He is originally from Argentina, but has lived in Australia now for almost 40 years. He is the creator of the Play of Life and Our Compass in Neuroscience, and the chair of the IAGP Family Therapy section. Now, we are all familiar with today's topic, I guess. People and relationships that drain your energy. Relationships can be a source of satisfaction and joy, but also pain and suffering. Learning how to change those who are a pain into a gain is an art that we will learn today. In this workshop, you will use a special sociometric demand and frequency graph created by Carlos to map out social connections like family or work and assess which relationships give you energy and which ones drain you. Understand the impact of these relationships using active role theory. Create practical plans to strengthen positive relationships and find creative ways to manage difficult ones so you can enjoy the beneficial ones even more. Now, because of the nature of these workshops and possibly the private content of our sharing, only the instructional part will be recorded, while the experiential sharing aspect will not be captured today. Just for you to know. I think this is important. For now, maybe one or two remarks before I give the word to Carlos. At the end of this webinar, when you close your window, when you close Zoom, you will be presented a survey in your browser, and we kindly ask you to complete the survey. It will be a great help to us to see how you experience the workshop and maybe have some suggestions to improve our workshops, online workshops and webinars. Second, you can of course ask questions to Carlos during his presentation. You can also share it in the chat. I will follow the chat, and I can put the questions forward if necessary. So either way, it will. We invite you to how do you say it? Actively participate in this webinar. At the end, I will also ask your attention for our Sapporo conference next year in August in Sapporo, Japan, the IAGP conference. But I will come to that at the end of our workshop. For now, my time is up. It's time to listen to Carlos. Carlos, it's up to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome especially Eloisa Fleury. Eloisa is the president of the IAGP, and she has been doing an amazing work in leading all the board and all the people to a very interesting place in the professional setting, but also helping us to connect humanly as professionals. So thank you, Lisa, for being here.
Thank you, Carlos.
A pleasure. A pleasure. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's see if I can see my screen. Okay. The topic today is a topic that started many years ago, almost 30 years ago, where we were in a workshop, and it was around November. And one participant just said in the workshop, there was a group, maybe 10 people, 12 people. And one person said, "Oh, Christmas, I need to prepare for Christmas, do the cards." At that time was not a lot of emails, actually were not emails. I need to start doing the cards for Christmas. And one person said, "Oh no, Christmas again." And then I said to her, "What happened? What is that for you?" "Oh, it's a nightmare because of the family, the travel, there's always fights and this and that." And everybody joined there. And the majority of the people have mentioned that on those activities, very often they have a lot of tension, that sometimes could be of a lot of fun and a lot of creativity. It was a very heavy experience. So from that time, we started running a workshop that was called "Oh No, Christmas Again." And this part of this, what we're going to see today, was part of that workshop. So this is a little bit of the history. Now we're going to run another workshop at the end of, I think it's November, that is called "Oh No, Christmas Again." And we're going to look at another aspect of relationships. As Adrian mentioned, I'm the chair of the family therapy section, and I'm a psychodramatist. And what captured the attention for me in psychodrama was about relationships. And that in life is not about me or about the other, but what happened in between us. And for me, psychodrama gave me that language, that possibility, and especially the philosophy of psychodrama, that is sociometry. That is what gave me this passion. And I'm working with this for more than 40 years. So we call a lot of the work we do, we call it relationship capital, because relationships is the biggest capital we have. As we mentioned before, relationships are the thing that makes us so happy and joyful, but also drain us so much. And a lot of the material we're doing, this is part of the training course we call The Play of Life. And the theory, the majority of the theory we're doing, of course, has been adapted and evolved as we evolved, but is honoring the work of Jacob Levi Moreno, that in his seminal work in psychodrama and sociometry allows us to learn and to see more about relationships. And today we are going to use a term that is called social atom, that for Moreno is the smallest way that or the microcosmos that we have in relationships, that we can map who is there in that relational atom, and we're going to use a special graph that I'm going to share with you very soon. Now, have you experienced or ask the question differently, this topic about people who are a drain, that is something that you have experienced? Do you feel that yourself personally, you feel that there is an issue that you would like to do maybe better in looking at relationships that usually is people who are very close to us, but we feel that they drain us, and we're going to go into that later. But also, and how to make the best of relationships that are gain for us, but especially how to shift relationships that there are a drain into a gain. So you see the sociometric measure. How important is an issue like this for you? Is very important, is very high, very low, is like this. So if each one of us can put your hand like a sociometric measure, how important is this topic for you personally? Okay, so the question is, if you put it with your hand like this, how important is this topic for you? High is high and low is low. Just leave it there. If everybody can put the hands there, very good. Excellent. Now, for you, I imagine the majority of you, maybe practitioners, how important do you think that is this issue in the life of our clients? Again, high is this and low is like this. If you can share for you as therapist, how important is this issue with the people we assist? Very good. And in relation to families or communities, I work a lot with communities and also in religious communities and also in corporate. And it's the same situation. So in the world that you live in your families or in organizations, associations, or communities, how important do you think that is this issue to learn has to shift those what are drained into a gain? Again, high here and low here. So we have everyone, or most of us, is agreeing that this is an important topic. So we send you this graph. I don't know if you had the time to print it or to draw it in a piece of paper. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share with you how to fill it up. And we are going to have some time for you to fill it up yourself. And then we're going to have a time for sharing. And we'll try to see how to do it in the best possible interactive way. This is the first time I'm doing this topic online. This usually has been done in groups with psychodrama or play of life. So this is the first time we do it in a group online, and I think this will be very practical too. If you have any question, please stop me at any time, ask me a question, or send a question to and Adrian will post it. Okay, can you hear me well, everyone? Yep, okay, good. Let's see. Here it is. Okay, in this graph, this is a sociometric graph. Sociometry is, as the name calls it, sociometry. It's a way to measure relationships. And we're using this in a graph. And also we have created an application that is a digital sociometry that we're going to run a workshop on that on another time, that has an algorithm and measure the relationships and gives us what is called a relationship capital index. So a high level of relationship capital is, of course, a relationship that is high level, and low relationship capital is draining. So in this graph, we have two parameters. One is demand, and the other one is frequency. Let's see what we mean with demand. We are thinking about people. So now when I'm talking, you start thinking about your relationships. We're thinking about people. A person who is a high demand, before we used to call it maintenance. Like this person is high maintenance. That means that every time I think about that person, it creates a sense of a level of anxiety. It's people who are, after we are with them, sometimes we feel exhausted. There are people that I'm concerned to be in the good terms in their books, because if not, I will be in trouble. It's the people that I need to be aware of not forgetting the birthday or coming on time, because everything I do that the person doesn't like, that person will make me pay for that in a sense. So it's like exhausting. It's a sense of trepidation, a sense of dread, and the fear of making mistake. And when I'm with that person, even though the person is very close to me, I may love the person a lot, but when I finish the relationship, usually I feel exhausted. So this is a high demand or high maintenance person. Do you have the picture?
Mm.
Do you have anyone that you think that is like that in your life? Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, so we know what we're talking about. A low demand or low maintenance is the easy one. It's the person that if I forget their birthday, I say, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot your birthday. Don't worry. And the person really mean it. If I'm late for whatever, the person says, are you okay? Are you okay? It's focusing on them, but also on us. To go back to the high demand. High demand is somebody that I might say to the person, oh, I have a headache. Oh, you have a headache. I have a headache, a backache, and last night I couldn't sleep very well. Oh, lucky you, just last night, because I can never sleep well. So these people that everything is focused on them and is very little space for us. And the low demands, of course, is the opposite. Is when we are with them, the time flows. And when we finish, we may be tired because we've spent hours, but we feel energized. So this is the low demand or low maintenance. Any questions about that? Clear? The other one is the time we spend with those people. The time is interesting because the time could be physical, start with them physically, but also the time that that person is in my mind. And the person may be living in another country. And now with the social media, the contact with that person may be very high. So high frequency is a person that has a high level of contact, could be physical or virtual. That I'm thinking of them often. Of course, if the person is a high demand, I'm thinking of them with dread and trepidation. If the person is low demand, it's a nice feeling. So I thought of my friend, I thought of my mother, my son, my brother, or whoever. Is this if the person is present in my mind? And sometimes in this area are people who feel that we are like intrusive thoughts of that person. We are so worried about that person that we are doing something and the memory of that person comes to my mind. And sometimes, and usually when that happens, it's not very positive. It has a sense of a dread, of attention. And low frequency, of course, is people that I don't see often, people that I'm not in contact a lot, and sometimes by choice, but very often, these people usually don't demand anything. And this is, we are going to have a look at now when we map that, who is who and where these people are. Any questions about the criteria for this graph? Is any question there? Like to ask? No? So, in the way we are going to do that, and we're going to have to find 10 minutes for you to do it, or I forget what 5 or 10 minutes, for you to do your graph. Each one of you will do your graph. This will be your private work. So it's up to you if you'd like to share it or not. And then later on, I would like to invite one of you, if you will be open to share the sociometry map to see how I work with that and how we can do practically with somebody from your place to move from the drain into a gain. So I like to say that I'm going to invite somebody to be a protagonist later on, and that part will not be recorded. It will be just private. So let's look at your graph, and we're going to stagger. We're going to write the name of the people in relation how often I see them, the frequency or not, and what is the level of demand. If you are in doubt about demand, make it a little bit more demanding. So we maximize that because that helps us to see what to do with that. So be very open to put how you perceive that and make it a little bit higher if you can. This is not a memory test. When you're looking at this, let people come to mind. This is not a memory. When you're looking at that, who is in my life that is a low demand that comes to me? I write it down. Do I see that person little or a lot? Which come to my mind that is high demand? Do I see that person a lot or little? So you start staggering, start putting the names of the person as they come. As they come. But then when you finish, something very important is if somebody close to me is doing this exercise, where would that person put me? Okay, this is very often we think how we think about other people, but very little we think sometimes how they think about me. So in that case, for example, I put me there. I said, well, who maybe my family? I say, oh, Dad is coming. Carlos is coming. That is a high demand. So where would people see me? And you can put the name, for example, me, and underneath, who is that person that sees me in high demand? But also you can put who sees me as a low demand. So this is we are not just assessing other people, but also we are role reversing and seeing how other people may perceive me. That is very important. Is that clear?
I have a question.
Yes.
So we do the graph by how we perceive people, and in the same graph, we write how they perceive us?
Yes, just think of one or two people who are very relevant in your life. They say, oh, now that I'm thinking, I feel that a person might see me high demand, just as a reflection, or no. So nice to think that these people are seeing me as a low demand. I'm saying that because especially in the